Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, Rosa Park High School. Welcome back to another start of the week. Today is Monday, January 8th, 2024. I'm your host, Anna.
And I'm your host, Maya. We hope everyone is doing well and having a great morning. What a better way to start off this morning than our weekly weather report from our wonderful meteorology team. Take it away.
morning, Panthers from Roselle Park High School. I'm your weather host today, Joe Longo. On Monday, we're looking at a sunny day with the highest temperature being around 40 degrees and the lowest being about 28 degrees. Tomorrow, expect a cloudy day with 65% chance of rain, with the morning being around 53 degrees and going into the high 20s. On Wednesday, we're looking at a windy morning with the temperature being 41 degrees and going up to around 58 degrees in the afternoon. On Thursday, it will be a sunny day with the lowest temperature being around 30 degrees, working up to the mid-40s. And on Friday, expect a cloudy day starting off at the low 30s and ending it off at the high 40s. That was your weekly weather report. Have a great week, great day, whenever you're watching this. Bye.
For the report of this chilly week, make sure to dress warm, and if you need a winter jacket, please reach out to Ms. Costa for assistance. Next, Anna and I interviewed Ms. Gois before the new year and asked her questions about her new role of being superintendent. If you are not aware, our former middle school principal, Ms. Gois, is now superintendent. A superintendent is a person who is in charge of all the schools in a school district. Let's see what she has to say about her new position. What are the rules and responsibilities of being a superintendent?
The rules and responsibilities are just a little bit more involved than what it is as a principal, where I was formerly. It's just that instead of having to oversee just one school, you get to oversee all the schools in the entire district. One additional responsibility too is that you also have the community partnerships that you need to maintain and to continue to build, because it is a joint job. To be able to be a superintendent is making sure that whatever you have in the community is also part of what you do in the school Board of Education.
How did you get started as an educator?
Education was not my first career. I actually wanted to go into business. This is my 24th year in education, but I've always liked being around education. I was always a tutor. I also taught English to adults, and my mom kept telling me, oh, you need to go, and I've always had a dream about being a teacher. I'm like, oh, it's not for me. I don't want to do that the whole time for my day to be in a classroom. That quickly changed, so I did business for 2 years, and then I went into the private sector, and I was in a Catholic school teaching math for 2 years, 5 through 8, and then I changed into the public sector, and that's how I became a 6th grade literacy and social studies teacher, and that's where it all started. Then into vice principal, middle school, and then a pre-K to 8 principal, and then back to where my comfort zone is and what I really loved in the age group, which is middle school.
What do you like and dislike about your job?
What I like is to actually see the progression and to see the growth, both academic as well as social, in all the students, because now I get to see them when they're babies, pre-K, and to see how they progress throughout all the way to 12th grade. The one thing I dislike about my job is the fact that I don't get to see you guys as often as I would like. You know, that was one of the things that being in a school setting, even as a principal, you get to interact and you get to see them on a day-to-day basis. This, you get to do a lot of behind-the-scenes work and ensuring that everything is okay, but you don't have that daily. And unless it's activities like this or whenever you guys are having a special assembly, those are the only times that, you know, I get to have that contact. So I do my very best to be at those things and to come and visit you guys as much as I can.
What is different about being a superintendent to your prior job as a principal?
There is more of responsibility in the sense that, you know, you have to now make sure that allocation of budget is done equally through all the schools. You have to make sure that we're abiding by state law and code in all the schools. So while I had to focus just on grades 6, 7th, and 8th, now I need to have knowledge and focus on grades pre-K to 12 in order to be able to provide and sign off on, budget, governance, personnel, and to make sure that we are following statute and state code.
What advice would you give to someone considering education?
The advice I give is that you have to have heart. In education, you have to know that you're always learning. Every day is different, but the most important thing is that you can't give up, and you have to have the heart and the passion to be there and to really do right by all of the kids.
What do you miss most about your old students?
What I miss most about my old students, everything. Seeing them in the morning, the good mornings, learning about their families, getting to learn about them, seeing them grow, having them share a lot of their stories, or sometimes just the informal talks that if somebody was going through a tough time and they just needed someone to talk to, that's what I miss the most.
What do you hope to achieve in your time as superintendent?
Just to bring a lot of the programs to students that support their learning, both artistic as well as academic, to be able to have them be recognized as they should because they're great students, and to be able to make them aware that they have so many opportunities out in the world, and to hopefully build in them a sense that they belong and that they can achieve anything that they choose.
Who is your inspiration?
Professionally or not?
Like professionally.
Okay, so I would have to say my first inspiration is my mom. She always taught me from a young age to be economically independent, and she always had behind me and been my biggest cheerleader, and always said that there's nothing that I can't accomplish. And every time that I thought, okay, this is not for me, I can't do it, it's too tough, she was always the one saying, no, you could do it, it's not, you hang in there. There's nothing that is tough that you can't do. Tomorrow's another day. So I would have to say that my overall inspiration has been her, and in a little sense of more of a inspiration for my profession, in the sense of becoming an educator, superintendent, and having been a principal prior, it would have been my former principal, where I started out as a teacher. So he's still one of my mentors today, and he continues to be a very good source of just guidance and just a sense of orientation, and say, okay, you're still doing the right thing. And he always told me, he goes, always do right by the kids. If you do right by the kids, you can never go wrong. So,
what is the best advice you've gotten?
The best advice I've gotten, never give up. I think more, and as we grow older, we tend to be more, how can I say, subtle, or we tend to just go back a little bit. But the best advice that anybody has given me is never to give up, because you always hear that voice saying, don't give up. And we all have tough moments, we all have struggles, but you hear that, don't give up. And I think that that's the best advice that anybody could possibly give anyone.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. A huge thank you to Ms. Gois for stopping by and letting us interview you. Thank you for your time, as we now know you're very busy. Well, that's it. That's all for today. Come back tomorrow for another amazing broadcast. Bye!